Nuendo 14 introduces some great improvements to the editing tools, such as the new event volume curves, which give you the ability to use fast and flexible volume curves directly on the audio events. This enables you to adjust the levels of audio events without having to switch tools. So let's have a look at event volume curves in action. With the normal object selection tool selected, we can now drag the new fader to adjust the overall level of the clip. We can also use a modifier key to get finer adjustments of the volume. And we can use another modifier key to change the level without touching the fader. And finally, we can double-click on the value and type in any value we like. You can decide in Nuendo 14's preferences whether to show the event volume control always, never, or on mouse over. And there are also similar options for the new volume curve and the fades. And we also have an option to change the brightness of the volume curve. In this example, we'll leave everything set to always. Now, with the pencil tool selected, we can add 2 or more points, and using the diamond icon at the top, we can drag the area between the points up and down to create a volume change. We can also add some more points and drag them as well, and between the 2 points, we can adjust the Bezier curve to give us a smoother transition. And there's some very useful smart tools that appear when we have our points selected. For example, we have a tilt function. We can compress the overall curve, and many more. And it's also worth noting that these new curves are independent of the main clip volume. So the main clip volume will still control the overall volume of the clip. And finally, if we wish to delete any of the points that we've created, we can simply select them and press the delete key. And now everything's back as it was. So as you can see, the new volume curves offer a valuable addition to the editing tools available in Nuendo 14 to optimize your editing workflow. Nuendo 14 also comes with some significant improvements to the range selection tool. It's been improved to help speed up the audio editing process with options that can be enabled either with key commands or modifier keys. Let's have a brief look at some of the improvements. With the range tool or the combined selection tool active, we can now simply double-click in the gap between 2 clips to create a range selection in the gap. We can also hold a modifier key to extend that selection to the rest of the project. We also have a new preference setting that allows us to change the way partially selected events are affected by the range tool. This is enabled by default, which is the old behavior. So let's compare these 2 options. Let's see what happens when we select and move part of the blue event and all of the orange event and part of the green event below it. We can see that the entire selection is moved. Now let's disable the Range Tool Splits Partly Selected Events option and see the difference. So once again, we'll select part of the blue part, all of the orange part and part of the green part, and now we'll drag the range. And as you can see, only the fully selected orange event was moved. In Nuendo 14, we also have a new setting which, when enabled, will automatically set the left and right locators to the range selection. Let's enable that and see it in action. This enables you to quickly audition your range, and you could even use the left locator hotkey to quickly jump to the left locator, which is now at the start of your selected range. There are also many other improvements to the range tool, which allow assigning modifier keys to split, extend, nudge, and glue ranges with ease. Nuendo 14 can now auto-detect audio segments that are recognized as belonging together, such as a word or a whole phrase in a dialogue track. By holding our chosen modifier key, we can move through our audio clip and Nuendo will highlight segments automatically. These segments can then be selected using the range tool with a single mouse click. And their volume can be adjusted using the new Event Volume Curves functionality that we saw earlier. The range tool now also works in conjunction with segment detection to make the range selection snap to the segments. As you can see, when holding the modifier key, the range selection is snapping to certain segments. This makes the range tool even more powerful than before when editing dialogue, especially as it can be used in conjunction with all the other range tool features we saw earlier. All of the new improvements in Nuendo 14's editing tools give you powerful new ways to increase your workflow and productivity. And that concludes our introduction to some of the new audio editing tools available in Nuendo 14. Thanks for watching.